the gridiron to Mike North. Welcome back to the program to Mike North, who you can read him in the Daily Herald. You can hear him with Steve Cochran every Friday afternoon at 5:50. And you can watch his daily 30 and 5 video commentaries at 560wind.com. His visit with us today is made possible by the Village of Rosemont and Home Comfort Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. So, Mike, are you still licking your wounds from last night?
Wow. I mean, you know what? The thing that's concerning me, first of all, good morning, guys, and happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, breaking news, by the way. The Electoral College has just joined the Big Ten.
Yeah, how about that?
I wanted to pass that on.
Well, you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to the folks in New Jersey packing up the station wagon and driving to Northwestern for a conference game.
Yeah, because they're going to do that. You know, honey, it's only 12 hours.
Yeah.
Stop once.
You know what? There's nothing better than the Purdue-Maryland rivalry to get the juices flowing. My God. I mean, you want to talk about geography. Listen, I know I didn't know my geography back in school, but this doesn't make any sense at all. I know it's all about the money, but can't you do better than Maryland and Rutgers?
I know. Can you imagine the Rutgers Hawkeye game?
Maybe the Bears should join the Big Ten.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe they'd fare better than they did last night. Before we talk more about the Big Ten, last night's game, what in the world happened to the Bears' defense?
Well, I mean, first of all, the Bear defense came in and they were ambushed because a lot of them, and including the Bears, and I don't know what the deal is, they thought Alex Smith may be playing. They bring in Kaepernick, and he has one game, and now we have a quarterback controversy, which I think is a problem for San Francisco because, you know what, I remember a guy from Green Bay named Matt Flynn who had a hot game, and he signed a big deal, left the Green Bay Packers, and guess what? He's not even playing for Seattle. He's a second stringer. So I thought that, you know what, even though Kaepernick played great, I thought the Bear defense was in for an ambush. And Jason Campbell, for $3.5 million a year, I know the line was bad, but you got to give me a little bit more, although he did get mangled. And if you're Kamini today, I mean, you're embarrassed by what you saw last night. I mean, he was pushed back 5-6 yards every time they snapped the football. The line didn't work. I saw today in one of the publications they got all Fs. Coaching all the way to the offense, to the defense. Nothing really worked last night. And by the way, the Bears have lost guys to Green Bay, Houston, and San Francisco. And they've beaten Tennessee, Carolina, Detroit, Jacksonville, Dallas, St. Louis, and Indy the first game. What does that mean? They can't beat the really, really good teams, and they're beating the teams that they're supposed to beat.
Yeah, Jason Campbell's got to be sore this morning.
Oh, my gosh.
And 6 sacks. And every time he got pummeled to the ground, I went, oh.
They had the gurney on standby for him. They had lights on it. They said they went with a horn. I mean, my God.
Had a name on it. Had a nameplate on it.
Yeah, they had a nameplate. They had, the siren with the big light that's on a pole so everybody could see it. They had that thing on the sideline ready to put him on it. I mean, he look, it was just a complete breakdown. The Chicago Bears now, guys, Minnesota, Seattle, Minnesota again, Green Bay, Arizona, and Detroit. You know what? They're not a shoo-in for the playoffs yet. Green Bay is now right with them. And, I thought that the only team that we'd have trouble with is the Giants until we start playing some good teams. And now, you know what? Bear fans get up this morning wondering, are they good enough?
Yeah, well, President Obama still thinks they can make it to the Super Bowl.
He's all over the place. God bless him. He's making the rounds. He's with the gymnasts. And well, you know what? President Obama is very optimistic about the Chicago teams, okay? But
like he is about our economy.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to do as well as I can under the current administration as you are, and we all are. Here's what I want to know. The economy that pays Jason Campbell $3.5 million, here's what I think he may. I'm surprised he didn't retire last night. I'm surprised he didn't quit because he didn't get a lot of support.
Jason Campbell's backup, McCown, how he's a high school football coach, and they called him and said, hey, come on back.
Well, he was in the preseason. He was in the preseason, and he got cut, and they brought him back, and little did we know that he might have, he was getting to get pressed into duty. Now, here's another thing. Brandon Marshall, only 2 catches. San Francisco's receivers open all over the place. And Marshall had 2 catches only against Green Bay, too. So, I mean, it's one of these deals where the Bears are beating the teams that are substandard against them, and the teams like Houston and San Francisco, teams like that, Green Bay, they're beating them, and they're beating them bad. So, if you're Lovie Smith, you're going back to the drawing board. And Mike Tice, I wouldn't want to be him today. It was a complete breakdown. And their offensive line completely manhandled by a 4-man rush most of the night.
All right, let's quickly talk about the Big Ten. When is this going to stop? I mean, are we done yet? Are we there yet?
How are they going to make the logo for 14 to look like a 10? They always manage to do that. But now they're going to have 2 more teams. It's called the Big Ten, but there's 14 teams and 2 are in the East.
We're calling it the Big Tent.
The Big
Yeah,
Ten.
that's what it's turning out to be. And you know, I mean, the Big Ten, it's all about the TV market with them. You have Rutgers in New York. You have the East Coast with Maryland. It's all about TV. But the rivalries that, you know, the Big Ten used to have and the Pac-12, I mean, it's all gone now. Texas A&M.
Whatever happened to tradition? You know, is
It's
Iowa
gone.
ever going to play Illinois ever again now because you throw 2 more teams in?
Yeah, I'm just puzzled by the teams, Amy. I mean, are there 2 other viable alternatives? I mean, to me, Maryland leaving the ACC and Rutgers, I mean, as football powers.
$50 million to leave the ACC.
I understand that, but these are not marquee teams. Right. I mean, what we want to see, okay, if you want to get somebody in the Big Ten, and it's never going to happen, get Notre Dame in the Big Ten. Yep. Now you're talking.
Get a Notre Dame. Get, you know, Mizzou. I mean, pick off Mizzou, although they're probably in a contract.
Well, they
now,
went to the SEC, but you're right.
But pick off Iowa State, maybe.
Right.
Or maybe even, I don't know, I'm going to say Southern Illinois, but something in the Midwest.
We care about.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Maryland, first of all, what does that do to Maryland in basketball? Leaving the ACC, Maryland's been a traditional team in basketball. Now they're going to the Big Ten, and they're gonna line up against Purdue and Indiana. I mean, and that's supposed to be a rivalry type of game and a conference game. It's all about the money, but I think it's misguided by the Big Ten. I don't know what the hurry is. There's always going to be teams available every single year, but you know what? These 2 teams apparently cut a deal with the Big Ten. It's all about the money.
All right. Thanks so much, Mike North. Have a great Thanksgiving.
All right, guys. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving.